with the GoCurrency.com sports ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Wednesday, Huskers fans. We are exactly 1 month from Huskers game day in Ireland. How about that? Time is flying by this summer. And in Huskers news today, another day, another Husker on the award watch list. In college football, new transfer punter Brian Buschini was named to the Ray Guy Award watch list today, the annual honor given to the nation's best punter. Buschini was the top FCS punter with Montana last year, averaging 46 yards per punt, with 30 of his 69 punts being downed inside the 20-yard line. Also, a good luck to Nebraska women's gymnast Emma Spence, and she is set to compete at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England. Spence, a senior national team member for Canada, her native country, will compete on Saturday, July 30th at 10:30 a.m. Central. Over to pro sports tonight. It is a busy day. A lot of matinee games today in Major League Baseball. A couple of current games that are just about set to get started. The Yankees and Mets. Game 2 of the Subway Series tonight gets started here in just a few moments. We'll also see at 6:07 the Cardinals and Blue Jays, as well as at 6:10 the Guardians taking on the Red Sox. Currently already in action, the Reds lead the Marlins 2-0 in the bottom of the first, and just underway the Orioles and Rays are scoreless. Some earlier finals from today: the Phillies took down the Braves 7-2. The Tigers beat the Padres 4-3. The Angels shut out the Royals 4-0. The Brewers clobbered the Twins 10-4. The Rockies beat the White Sox in a really down-to-the-wire finish, 6-5. 7-1, the Dodgers handled the Nationals. 4-2, the A's beat the Astros. 5-3, the Diamondbacks took down the Giants. And 4-2, the Mariners bested the Rangers. Also breaking in Major League Baseball this afternoon, Angels superstar Mike Trout, three-time MVP, is reported to be dealing with a rare back condition that is reportedly and something that Trout will have to manage throughout the rest of his career, per Angels head athletic trainer Mike Frostad. And that condition involves a vertebrae, so certainly not something that's just a quick recovery from. So we'll see when Trout, who's currently on the DL, he's been on the DL since July 18th with a rib injury. See when he makes his way back to the diamond. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
In motion is Brewington. They snap it back, fake the handoff, looking to throw. They flip it out the flat to Brewington, makes a catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Well, that looked easy that time. Brewington came in motion, and instead of cutting down the block, kept out the flat, flipped it out to him for an easy 6 points. And Treese now sends a man in motion. They turn, they flip it off to McDuffie, trying to race to the edge. Gets around JoJo Doma, but can't get around Nick Henrich. He'll go down. He'll lose 3 yards, back to the 23-yard line. What a play by Nebraska. It's caught. Touchdown. Omar Manning. What a grab in the end zone, and the Huskers have 6 more points.
What a throw and catch. Yes.
Nice jitterbug move, and it bounced the outside 40 to the 50-yard line, to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant, with an electrifying move at the line of scrimmage, scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Kind of feel like Andrew's yelling at us tonight. It's just good to have him back in the room. It's been like, what, 3 weeks since he's been here? Is that
I
right?
know.
3 weeks?
I think he came in, he's a little aggressive because he's had a week off, you know? So he's got to make sure he's letting us know he's here and back.
It's good to have him back. All right, hey, we're glad to be back with you tonight as well. It's a Wednesday, hump day, getting ready to send you into the final weekend of the month of July. The Huskers have finished. They have completed practice number 1. It was this morning. They'll have another one tomorrow. We'll finally hear from some of the coaches on Friday's show with a practice report coming from Eric Chenander, but day 1 of the books. They had a nice, cool morning today. It was really nice outside, so I'm sure they were able to get outside and get after it. But I bumped into a couple players walking around, just asked them how it went, and they all said fine. So.
Yeah, the first day is always kind of weird. I mean, you don't have pads on. It's, getting a feel for everything. Not like you can do a whole bunch, but just kind of getting back into the swing of things.
Right.
Pads come on Friday.
It's after 2 or 3 practices.
Probably shoulder pads
Yeah.
Friday and full pads maybe Saturday.
Don't they just hand out like the syllabus the first day? No, that's college courses that they do that. I tell you what, the whole semester.
Andrew liked that one. He missed your jokes apparently.
Yeah, he did. I got him on a CD. I'll give him to you next time you travel, Andy, for your 3 weeks. You can just listen
He's like,
to
what's
him.
a CD?
Oh, that's probably right. All right, I can download it for you so you can put it in your phone. So yeah, first practice in the books today. You know, Tim had that Brian Buschini made the Ray Guy list. That's fantastic. I don't know that I've ever, and probably most Husker fans haven't been, as this excited about kickers as we are this year with Bleak Road and Buschini.
And you know what? Their lines were pretty full last night. Now, they were with the tight ends, but
True, yeah.
they still, like, people were wanting to get their autographs last night. Sometimes that specialist table gets a little empty. Sometimes is all I'm saying, and it was not empty last night. At any point last night was that table empty.
How about that? Good for those guys. Get some love. And now... And I have full confidence in him. What we saw from Brian in the spring was really good. And hearing Bill Bush talk about Timmy Bleak Road.
And then when Timmy came in studio, he was really impressive.
He was good, wasn't
But I think, you know, Brian is so mature. You know, he's married, he's starting a family, and the way just he approaches it, it's not like he's a college kid. It's already like he's a professional. So the way he's going about his business, I think, is huge.
I get asked about those positions maybe as much as anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think just because, and again, we've heard Coach Frost and everybody talk about, you know, yes, there were games where that special teams really would swing things against the Huskers, but I think if you're just an outside looking in that you just watch Nebraska play, like my brother, for example, he's on the Will Compton of, you know, when they were going into it, they were like 8-0 without special teams or whatever, you know, so I think that's just was such a big storyline last year, and as much as you can point to the opportunity to go win games at the end, those special teams plays are just such huge momentum swingers. Sure. Whether you have a opportunity to go win the game or not at the end of it, it just completely can take the wind out of your sails when you give up a big special teams play. So
out of everybody.
Yep.
Everybody on the sideline.
Yep.
Everybody, if you're like a defensive player or you're the offense and you go, we just scored, and you give up a kickoff return for a touchdown, or you're the defense, you're going, okay, we're going to go out and keep putting the brakes on them, and they block a punt or bring a punt back. And well, they scored, but we didn't even get a chance to stop it.
I go right back to when I was filling in for Jeremiah on the sidelines at Oklahoma and the block PAT. I mean, I was on the sidelines there, and there was all kinds of momentum. They were fired up, and then all of a sudden it was just like you said, just wind completely gone out of the sails and totally took the momentum away.
It did. And would it have flipped the game? I don't know, but you had a better chance if that didn't happen, that maybe you do go win that game.
Yes, yep. And even just, you know, you make a big field goal and then you miss a close one. And just the way that kind of took the energy up and down, I think it was just such a roller coaster of emotions sometimes that it's hard. But credit to the team for continuing to bounce back, but it can be completely a game changer one way or another.
Yep, no doubt. You mentioned that the kickers were at the tight ends table. We are going to finish tonight our position breakdown. Sean Beckton will be here to talk tight ends. We actually got him a couple of days ago, so we're not going to get any reaction about how practice went today, but we caught up with Coach earlier, so we'll play that for you coming up in a little bit. And I like that group. We talked a lot with Travis Vokalek and Thomas Fedoni, and we had A.J. Rollins on last month, young redshirt freshman tight end. Chancellor Brewington, I can't forget him. The best name on the team by far. So we'll hear from Coach Beckton.
Better than the coldest?
Yeah, I think Chancellor Brewington, he's got them both. The coldest, his first name's really cool, but Chancellor Brewington, I feel like I'm talking to like a prince or something when he's in there. That's a great name.
I don't know. I mean, it is a great name, but I don't know if I'd give him the #1 slot.
Okay.
We just broke that down.
We may need to put that out. Who's got the best name on the team?
Well, we did a breakdown. Well, no, we did all sports.
We named all Husker sports.
Yeah, it's definitely in the top, but I don't know if I give it my #1.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. So we'll hear from Coach Beckton coming up here in a little bit, and that will conclude it for us on the position breakdowns. We're all recovering today from Fan Day. What a great night. It was cloudy, so it was really comfortable for the folks. Really good turnout last night. I think everybody had a wonderful time getting some autographs from some of their teams. So hour number 2, we are going to hear more about recruiting. And you had a chance to talk to some new additions to the recruiting staff. both females that have joined the staff.
Yes, Taylor and Brittany both joining the staff. We had Vince on a couple months ago, and he talked a little bit about them, but been brought on, and we've seen a complete, I mean, just the buzz and the energy around recruiting, and obviously the new coaches are a big part of that, but also their approach to it. Vince and the staff are, really getting after it, and there's they had a massive June, and so, yeah, we're going to get to know them a little bit more. Their direction into getting into recruiting is fascinating. Their plans moving forward, why they wanted to come to Nebraska, all that. So really, really good stuff with them. So that'll be coming up in hour 2.
Looking forward to hearing that chat. Doug Duda will join us. Doug's with our affiliates out in the Hastings-Kearney area. He was in Indianapolis covering the Big Ten Media Day, so we'll get his impressions of what he heard and kind of maybe which teams kind of he feels better about or not as good after listening to all the coaches for the last couple of days. So we'll look forward to chatting with Doug on one of our great affiliates out in central Nebraska. That's coming up in hour number 2 as well. They're over. Big Ten Media Days are done. They wrapped up a couple hours ago. I watched quite a bit of it today, and Jessica, I can't get over things. I hold grudges. So I'm watching Brett Bielema from Illinois, and I'm going, how did we lose that game last year? And then you go back and you replay it, and the scoop and score that they had right before halftime that gave Illinois the lead, the Cam Taylor-Britt waving the hand and getting the safety.
The roughing the passer.
The roughing the passer call that after Nebraska had intercepted a pass. You're just like, gosh, that should have, could have, would have. I get it. But, man, it just brought back a lot of bad memories for me.
Yeah. Little PTSD there on that game. So you watched a lot more of it than I did because I was shooting stuff yesterday and my mom was in town. I had to get her to the airport. So being that the coaches' press conferences have been such a hot topic, right? Who would you say won media days? Which head coach? If you're going to pick a team to win because of what they said in media days, who you going with?
Ryan Day was pretty solid from Ohio State, talking about, a lot of schools 11-2 and winning the Rose Bowl would be a good year. It wasn't for us because we lost our big rival. We didn't win the conference title. We didn't get in the college football playoff. So he was pretty stern with what he had to say. And I like that. I like coaches that come in and go, you know what? For a lot of people, 11-2 would have been great. They would give a coach a new contract. It's not good enough at the Ohio State University. So I enjoyed hearing his talk today. If you didn't know him and he didn't irritate you like crazy, you would probably say P.J. Fleck was pretty good because he is. He's really good when he's up in front of everybody because he performs for them.
He does. He puts on a show.
That act is kind of worn thin on me, so I do think they are a bit of a dark horse to win the West. I do think Minnesota has a chance to win the division.
Yeah.
Could have won it last year.
Yeah, and getting some talent back and all of that. So, I mean, it's going to be fascinating to see how that shakes out. So, flip side of that, who lost?
Yeah, I don't know that Pat Fitzgerald convinced me that Northwestern can bounce back. Now, I say that and watch us get burned here in a couple of weeks, but I just don't know where that's going. James Franklin, I don't think, has a ton of answers at Penn State. That seems a little odd. Back to the winning things. If Jeremiah were here, he would say Indiana won it all hands down.
Of course he would.
I think he's a closet Indiana fan.
Yes, he did. I mean, he picked them every single week until finally week 9. I think he stopped picking them. But I think Indiana recruited him right, and so wasn't that right? Or he knew somebody on the staff, and so he liked the culture, and they bought into the culture.
He's just like, that's a guy I could play for. I could play. And, you know, Tom Allen is a very dynamic kind of guy in a different way than PJ. But, again, I don't know that Indiana really has a lot of answers. And they come here October the 1st. So that'll be a team to keep an eye on. Some really interesting early season matchups, Jessica. That Thursday night, September the 1st, right before Labor Day weekend, Penn State's at Purdue. That's a huge game for both of those teams to try to get off to a big start. And then the next night, Illinois is at Indiana. So we play both of those teams, so that'll be one to catch up with.
I was actually looking ahead at some of the schedules on the days that we play at home, and there's some good games going on early on in the season.
Well, Notre Dame, Ohio State, week 1.
Yep.
We play week 0. That's week 1. So a lot of fun, a lot of information that came out of there today. We'll talk more about that later in the program. You tipped me off on this early today. What an honor for Nicklin Haynes. She put out a post today saying that Adidas is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Title IX. I am honored to be in the very first group of student athletes ever to join the Adidas family. We are proof that more is possible. principals. So Adidas put out a list of 15 women across 7 collegiate sports who will participate in a mentorship program created by the great basketball star Candace Parker, and Nicklin Hames is in there. What a neat thing for her.
Absolutely. So cool. And, Adidas was one of the first brands to come out and say that they were going to involve women and make opportunities possible for women to get involved with NIL opportunities. And then, this is just awesome. They continue to want to push and grow all of women's sports. But what a great choice for Adidas, honestly, with Nicklin. She has a great following, but she's also so personable, and she's someone that I would sign up to be a spokesperson for my brand as well. But volleyball is actually shooting their intro video and all that good stuff, starting lineup, all that kind of stuff that they do before the season tomorrow. So I'll try to talk to Nicklin, see if I can't grab her and get more information on that and get her take on how much that meant to her. But huge honor, massive ordeal to get to. I think she was in New York City and launching it, and just an awesome opportunity for her.
Such an easy player to root for, isn't she? The way she handles herself, the way she kind of gathers the teammates, setters, that's kind of your job anyway, but you can just tell she has so much passion when she plays.
Well, and I just think there are a lot of people that are drawn to those emotional players that show their emotion, that show how much they care what happens on the court, whether they win or lose, good play, bad play, if their teammates are successful, if they're not, so I think a lot of fans are drawn to that. I love it when players, any sport, show that kind of emotion. So I'm drawn to her as well. I love it when, she gets fired up and gets the team fired up, and then it's so contagious for everybody.
How intrigued are you with how that whole thing is going to play out? The dynamics of her kind of stepping away from the setter role and being just a backline player. If, I guess, a big if Kennedy Orr is ready to be the main setter. I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah, I think she's going to embrace it, and she wants to get into coaching and wants to maybe be a graduate assistant, and she's going to be a fantastic coach, so she's going to help those players along. Like, how great is that for Kennedy to have Nicklin still around to help bring her along and groom her into that role, which is, again, it's setter you, and there's a lot of pressure.
Well, Kelly Hunter's on the staff, too.
Yeah, there's so much pressure, and Nicklin has talked about how important Kelly was to her and her development, but there's a lot of pressure on the setter for Nebraska volleyball. And so as a young player, Nicklin was there, can help bring Kennedy along in that regard. Well,
congratulations to Nicklin Hames, selected as one of the 15 student athletes by Adidas to be a part of their mentorship program. Just a great honor for her, and perfect pick by Adidas as well to add her to that list. All right, enough of us for a while. 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be a part of the program tonight with a call or a text. The number works for both. Love to hear from you throughout the program here tonight. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. We're back to hear from Sean Beckton, our last position breakdown, the tight ends. We'll talk that next.
Buy your next vehicle your way from anywhere with Woodhouse. Start your journey online at woodhouse.com. Easily shop all new and pre-owned inventory. Explore payment options and apply for financing. Ready to purchase? Schedule your new vehicle for pickup from the dealership or have it delivered to your driveway. Need a little extra help in determining your perfect vehicle? Our knowledgeable and local dealerships can guide you to the vehicle that best matches your needs. Experience car buying your way with Woodhouse, a trusted auto partner since 1975.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged sales event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged sales event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. During the summer of 2021, 3 UNL students helped safeguard cattle across the state. Neely Anderson, Tatiana Jones, and Ashton Commons developed secure beef supply plans that prevent the spread of disease outbreak. The plans protect nearly 850,000 cattle across our state and provide greater economic security for this vital industry.
return. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. Husker fans, your Nebraska women's basketball team home non-conference schedule has been released. The Huskers will host Kansas, Wyoming, Omaha, and more. The Nebraska women's basketball team finished the season with 24 wins, an NCAA tournament appearance, and are returning all 5 starters for the 2022-23 season. You do not want to miss out on cheering on this team in person at Pinnacle Bank Arena this year. Not a current season ticket holder? Join the waitlist today so you can participate in the seat selection process on August 17th and 18th. Make sure to join the waitlist by July 31st at Huskers.com/request list.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul, not to mention their injury list. Cox, we're sports 24/7. Learn more at cox.com/sports.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? Well, they're even longer term than your sister's piano recital at church that time you drank a whole big cup of soda right before you left home and insisted to your mom that you didn't have to use the bathroom. We're talking that long-term.
Hi, it's Nick Renna with Dakota Mac. Call me at 308-380-7564 to learn about our competitive 30-year fixed rates on ag real estate loans.
Inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. We continue our position breakdowns tonight with a look at the Husker tight ends, and delighted to be joined by tight ends coach Sean Beckton. Tell me about spring. I know it was disappointing because Thomas went down, but what did you see in spring? Because Austin Allen played a lot of snaps for you last year. He's not part of this anymore. What was spring like for you and your group?
Spring was good. Losing Austin officers, that's going to be a big blow for its experience, athleticism, and, taking a lot of snaps over the last few years. And obviously Travis, has played tremendously, over the years, last couple of years. And then we're looking forward to, really having him back full time. He could have done a couple things for us in the spring, but we kind of held him a little bit. And I thought it was good for him, more beneficial for him to kind of sit back anyway, to really fine-tune some of the top end of his routes. That's one of the things that at the end of the season, goal-wise, I want him to really improve on. And then really trying to get him to be more of a leader And those type things with him not being out there kind of has helped him improve in those areas.
Coach, 2 years ago, you helped Jack Stoll get into the league and now Austin's there. Austin didn't get drafted. You think he'll play in the NFL?
Yeah, all the indications I hear, I think he'll do fine this year. Jordan Akins is there currently on the roster with him. I called him and told him to look out for him when he got there, and he called me back a couple weeks after he arrived there and told me he's going to be just fine on this level here. Austin, obviously has really worked himself, his body, and also the athletic ability to work himself and put himself in this position where he can be successful on the NFL level. The biggest thing for him is the new terminology. Talking to Austin, he feels that he's stacks up to the guy that they drafted. He understands why they drafted him and some of the things that was deficient in. Maybe hurt him, but his head is in a great place.
Good. Again, visiting with Sean Beckton, Husker tight ends coach. You mentioned Travis hoping that he becomes a little bit more of a leader. Thomas Fedoni, you probably just hope can stay healthy. That's a guy with a load of ability, but we just haven't been able to keep him healthy. How careful are you going to have to be with him when camp gets started?
Well, I'm spending a lot of time with him, mentally right now. He's doing a lot of things in the weight room, but also in the training room. He's worked extremely hard to get himself, in position to try to come back and help this football team, next year during this upcoming season. So he's in my office almost every single day. I'm down in the training room with him, encouraging him, and he's at the point where he's basically now, really working. I know he's only supposed to be working on certain things, but I catch him sometimes in there doing some things he's not supposed to do. So I want to make sure that he's following the script of what the doctors are telling him and the medical people. But he's just built that way. He's one of those guys that wants to be around the team and wants to be around the program. He's volunteering his time, coming out to work some of the camps, and he wants to help this football team, and it shows what he's doing in his rehab right now.
Update us on Chris Hickman. There's another guy that's got ability, but he's battled some injury problems in his Husker career. Give us an update on Chris.
Well, he got hurt, obviously in the first part of the spring, so he missed some snaps there at the end. But this is supposed to be his year, so I'm hoping that he stays healthy. And the biggest thing for him is I'm really on him every single day, checking to see if we can get his weight up to where it was a couple of years ago. And he knows that's something he's got to improve on for him to be sustainable throughout the training camp and then throughout the year. His goal for me is to try to get up over 215, 220. With his passion and toughness, he'll be able to play at that weight and be able to give us some snaps. And Coach Whipple's offense, we can use a guy that's a little bit undersized, that's athletic and get down the field like Chris Hickman can. But he's really done a great job. And this spring when he wasn't around as far as working and out, really helping the A.J. Rollins, the James Carneys, and really helping those guys learn the nuances of playing football here at Nebraska.
When you and I sat down last summer, I know I didn't ask you about Chancellor Brewington. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, boom, there he is on the field. He's making plays. He's laying people out on blocks on the edge. Mm-hmm. What kind of a surprise was he, and what do you expect out of him this fall?
Well, I expect a lot out of him. He's put himself in a position to be in the mix also, along with Chris. Those guys are somewhat of a hybrid. I call those guys a little bit of a hybrid because they're a little bit undersized, more receiver types, but their physical ability as far as being able to strike people and understand what we're trying to do with them, weekly, being able to adjust some things with them, every single week. Very intelligent, Chancellor Brewington. I saw that from day one, even as a receiver, how he picked up on things. And then, we had a couple of injuries there, and he came over within that first week. He was able to line up and do some of the things at the point of attack. That was my first indication that he'll be able to do it. and he's definitely, committed himself. He's up over 225 pounds now, has really had a great off season, after his injury coming through this spring, missed most of the spring, but he's back at it and really, really working hard out there thus far this summer. So I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to our offensive scheme in a bigger role.
You mentioned AJ and James Carney, AJ Rollins, two guys that have been in the program now a little while, probably understand how it has to work to get on the field. Where are they in their progress? AJ made some really good catches in the spring game.
Well, AJ's probably, of the two, AJ and James Carney, AJ probably has taken a little bit of a bigger step than James, and James is right there. James had some injury issues there in the spring that kind of set him back a little bit. But AJ has his confidence midway through spring picked up, and you can see what he did in the spring game, where he's going to end up. When the spring game ended, he was at a certain weight, and now he's all the way up. He's picked up on 10 pounds since the spring game. So I'm excited about what he's doing in the weight room. I peeked my head in there over some of the coaches' windows and see him working hard down there and, really pushing himself. Travis has done a great job of really, in his group, really pushing that group of tight ends, him and Nate Borkacher, really bringing those guys along. But really excited about, AJ. He's got to improve on, understanding the complete scheme of things. But he'll be in the mix there. It's going to be a battle, obviously, with some of the guys that's within that room. So I'm excited to see how he steps up and continue to prove this summer.
Again, visiting with Sean Beckton, Husker tight ends coach here on Sports Night. Your room always has walk-ons, and you just mentioned one in Nate Borkacher, and you've told me for a year or so, don't sleep on Nate Borkacher. He's going to help us out. What makes him a guy that can help out this football team? And talk about any other walk-ons that have caught your eye.
Well, obviously Nate has proven himself, obviously, this past spring. That's one of the guys that Coach Whipple, he caught Coach Whipple's eye early on, and Coach Whipple thought he was a scholarship kid. And I told him, no, he's a walk-on kid. He's, since day one we got here, a couple years ago, his pass-catching skills, I knew then he'll have a chance to, if he ever got big enough and strong enough, he'll be able to help this football team. And he proved it a little bit last year in the opportunities that he got. We decided to redshirt him, so we knew that the future for him was going to be bright. He's one of those guys that's also picked up quite a bit of weight this all season thus far, and he just makes plays. You can see in the spring game, the first play of the spring game, he jumped over somebody and made a play.
Yeah.
Those are the things he did all spring. So I'm on him every single day to continue to work. Sometimes you get complacent, which he does at times, and I had to get his attention a little bit here a couple weeks ago, but he's back on track to continue to work and do the things necessary to compete for a job, as a tight end this year.
You do have two other scholarship tight ends that weren't here for spring. They're now here this summer, and that's Chase Androff from Minnesota and the Californian Brody Takalola. What have you seen from them so far, and what did you like about them to get them here to come to Nebraska?
Well, we need, with the skilled guys, skilled tight ends that we currently have on the roster, with Carney being more of a receiver, Brewington, Hickman, those guys are being receivers, tight bodies. We needed guys that are more point of attack, more hammers, which Chase is already 240, and then Brody, obviously was recruited as a defensive lineman, moved over. So I hadn't really had a chance to spend as much time with those guys because they just, somewhat got here. But looking forward to spend a little bit more time with those guys and kind of see if I can improve their pass catching skills for those guys to be able to help us this year. And they got a lot to learn. And then, one other walk-on that I really have been impressed with is Luke Lindemeyer. He came in from Papillion right down the road here, very similar to Nate Borkacher. When Nate first arrived, you saw some of the things there that, can help the football team. And Nate's ability has shown it. And then Luke Lindemeyer has done some of the same things, very similar. caught my attention and has caught Coach Whipple and Coach Frost's attention that he can possibly be able to help us this year, if not this year, definitely in the years to come.
I have kidded you in the past that when you walked on campus, you walked into a really good room. You had good guys to work with, and obviously Jack and Austin now have moved on to the NFL. Still like your room?
Still love it. Still love it. I love to work with guys that want to be coached and, across the board. Getting to know Chase and Brody a little bit, but all those guys want to be coached. They want to be coached hard, and they know I'm going to love them up. And, my goal is to develop young men and find out their weaknesses early on and their strengths, and then really improve their weaknesses and really fine-tune their strengths. So all those guys in that room really work extremely hard. They know I'm coming at them every single day, so they have to bring their A game and everything that they do. Obviously on every single day when they step in this building.
Well, you're doing a great job. Appreciate you coming in and giving us a rundown. Have a good camp. Let's keep them relatively healthy during camp.
Yes, indeed.
There he is, Sean Beck, the Husker tight ends coach, with us here on Sports Nightly. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More of the show coming up next.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, but when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up and back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Pat, I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Go ahead.
Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Pottery.
No.
Let us help. Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Lottery. Through August 2nd, enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska Lottery Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket for a chance to be one of 6 winners of a trip to LA, a cruise, or a trip to Vegas.
Are you sure it's not Nebraska Pottery?
Pretty sure.
Scratch ticket top prize odds, 128,000.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
You can be in Memorial Stadium for the Oklahoma football game with the new limited availability OU Plus 2 ticket plan. For $270, you have a ticket to the Huskers versus Oklahoma game, 2 tickets to North Dakota, and 2 tickets to Georgia Southern. Also available is a Big Ten plan with a ticket to Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. 4 Big Ten games in Memorial Stadium for only $200. Purchase right now at Huskers.com/tickets.
It's more than a Lincoln, it's your Lincoln. Custom order your next luxury SUV with Woodhouse Lincoln today. Choose from the full range of Lincoln models and curate every detail to your deepest desires. From exterior color down to each accessory, our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will guide you to your next vehicle. Begin your custom order journey online at woodhouselincoln.com.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
At Great Western Bank, they are committed to your community. With all the local decisions and personal attention of a hometown community bank, they also have the convenience of a bigger bank. It's the best of both, so you can bank with your neighbors and your friends. Great Western Bank wishes all area teams a safe and successful season. Great Western Bank, member FDIC.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Akins, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akins, solutions for every field. That's it. That's the end of the position breakdowns. Great to have Coach Beckton talk to us about the tight end room, and he's done a phenomenal job since coming to Lincoln. He gets Jack Stoll into the NFL. Austin Allen's going to be in the NFL, and I think Travis Vokolet's probably trending that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just ask Jeremiah. He thought that, last year, and he's representing Austin Allen now. But yeah, I think and just doing interviews with Austin Allen last year and then hearing Travis Vokolet, and even if you don't even ask him directly about Coach Beckton, his name comes up
a lot. Yeah,
he does such a good job of developing those guys, and not just on the field but in the meeting rooms too. That's one of the things that comes up a lot, is what he does when they're studying film. And, all the techniques of blocking and all of that, because Austin Allen will tell you he wasn't a very good blocker when he started, but that really was something that was developed thanks to Coach Beckton, and Travis says the same thing about a lot of those guys, how much they come along in all areas. Because you and Chancellor Burrington, when we had him on the other day, he said the tight end room has to be the most versatile player on the field, and right. That is what Coach Beckton is so good at, is developing, not just being able to go catch the pass or not just being able to line up and block somebody in front of you, but the whole package. I think he does a really good job of developing.
You hear coaches say, coach them hard and then love them up, and that applies in my eyes to Sean Beckton 100%.
Yeah.
He coaches them hard, but then he makes sure they know he's there for them and is going to put his arm around him after the practice is over, even though he maybe got on him pretty good during practice.
Yeah, they absolutely love him. That room loves him, and obviously he's done a good job of building the talent, the depth in that room. I mean, last year with the two guys they had, but then the way that some of these younger guys are coming on now, when they're healthy, it's one of the deeper positions. And we've heard it time and time again, Coach Whipple is going to use that tight end and multiple tight ends.
Right. Fedoni, I think, still questionable whether he's ready week 1, but he will play this fall.
I mean, look at his social media. He's adamant that he's...
I know, that he's going to make it.
They're probably having to tell him, yo, slow down a little bit, slow your roll.
Yeah.
Slow your roll. We don't need to rush it, but we'll get you out there. But he is adamant. I mean, he is just chomping at the bit to get out there.
Such a talented kid. It might be better than any of the ones that we just kind of threw out there and mentioned. He's got the skill set that everybody around the country wanted coming out of high school. So just, I hope for him that those legs hold up and that everything else, and he can get healthy and get on the field and help this football team out here in 2022. Again, practice 1 in the books. 2 tomorrow, 3 on Friday. We'll have a full-blown practice report for you on Friday's program. Also want to tell you that we're offering up not 1 but 2 mini ticket plans. OU plus 2 mini plan, it's called, for $270. You can get 1 Oklahoma ticket, 2 tickets to the North Dakota game, and 2 tickets to the Georgia Southern game for $270, or just a Big Ten mini plan, all 4 of the Big Ten home games. Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Huskers only get 4 home games in league play this year. You can get all 4 of those for $200 per ticket, so about $50. Well, right at 50. My math's really good sometimes. $50 per game.
Don't ask me to help you out on that one.
Get my little calculator on my phone out for all that. So those 2 are both being offered right now. Really good. They just got launched yesterday. Really good interest in that. You can go online and take care of it yourself at huskers.com/tickets. You know, we're speeding toward the game in Ireland, but yet you have an extra week for that home opener. So it's a week after the Ireland game with North Dakota coming here for that 2:30 kickoff in that game. All right, phone line, text lines open for you, 402-413-2400. We're back with our last segment of Hour 1 next.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's 1st and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Woodhouse Ford is your certified Ford dealer, serving drivers throughout Nebraska for 47 years. Our commitment to our customers continues well beyond the date of purchase. You will leave our lot feeling comfortable and confident in your new vehicle. Customers have been relying on Woodhouse Ford since 1975 for high-quality vehicles, knowledgeable staff, and exceptional service. Experience the Woodhouse Ford difference and shop at one of our 3 locations in-store or online at woodhouseford.com.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night. You said the football count just tweeted out a little video from practice 1, huh?
Yeah, so they showed a little bit of the media days, Big Ten media days, and then 24 hours later, and yeah, there you can see some practice footage. About 45 minutes ago, they posted it. So.
Anybody stand out? Can you see?
Oh, it was real quick.
Uh-huh.
So.
They try to give you just little flashes of somebody, then everybody reads so much into it. Oh, they just showed Andrew Dowdy. He must be really rocking it up.
And they
the
left
depth
out
chart.
Tim.
And Tim's not in there.
And they didn't show Tim, so Tim's not going to play.
Is he still on the team, or what's going on there? So go check it out if you're on social media. The football account did put that out. They usually do that pretty much after every practice. They wait 8-9 hours before they do it, though, most days. So to make sure they're not giving off a different impression than what they want to have.
Yes,
sent
yep.
out there.
So most of the, well, I guess there's a couple. Most of the shots of the quarterbacks have all of them in there. So
Okay,
there you go.
there you go. Buckle up with the phone at a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. I need to vent here for a moment.
Okay, all right.
My wife and I have been married 26 years. And this is in the old category of they don't make them like they used to, right? So we had the same washing machine for 20 years before it finally gave out. So we bought a second one, and it's done after 6 years. Are you kidding me? And the guy that came to tell me that it was done, and that cost me money because I had him come out and tell me that, yeah, it's the whole board shot, you're done. He goes, yeah, that's about it. You're going to get about 6 years out of a washing machine. He goes, that's about how they're making them now.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yes.
So I got to have a machine delivered tomorrow sometime.
So you should have just had the old one fixed.
They didn't have any more parts for it because it was so old. It was 20 years old. They go, yeah, they're not making those parts anymore for these machines. And they go, that's too bad because these things are rock stars. And it was.
Yeah. They don't make them like they used to.
They don't make them like they used to. So that's my rant.
So did you pick out, I mean, you feel like you did a better...
I did not.
Okay, you didn't pick it out.
My wife picked it out, yeah.
So, but it's a 6-year warranty.
I think you can get a 10-year warranty, but the other one did too, but the guy goes, the parts are so expensive that even though it's covered, you're still with labor costs and stuff, you might as well just go get a brand new one.
Oh, wow. That's frustrating.
Oh, my gosh. It's really frustrating.
So you set out to buy a washer thinking it was going to last you 26 more years? Or 20 years?
I knew it probably wouldn't last 20, but I got give me at least 10, right? Not 6, and then I got to go rebuy the whole thing up
How's
again.
the dryer holding up?
Dryer's fine, but now you got a mix match, so you can't do that.
Yeah.
You have to sell the dryer, and who's going to buy a single dryer thing? So
I don't know. Maybe somebody else bought a dryer
Andrew, you need a dryer?
Maybe somebody else bought a dryer that had the same issue. You could just,
Well, my wife said she was, is it the Marketplace on Facebook?
Yes, yeah.
So she was looking at that to see what we maybe could ask for the dryer, and she said somebody got on there on a rant saying,
$20?
We just bought somebody's used washer and dryer, and the washing machine didn't work.
Oh, no.
But they go, it looks so brand new, and it was only like 6 years old. That sounds familiar, so.
Wow. Whew. 6 years. That doesn't seem like long enough for what those things cost.
Exactly. So it's getting delivered tomorrow. We haven't had a washer in our house. We had to go to the laundromat 3 times because we haven't had it for 3 weeks.
You get lots of quarters?
We haven't had it since Andrew worked.
Wow.
That's how long it's been.
Wow.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse, first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. I'm just looking at Art's text. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Art, I'm not going to embarrass the company and tell you which company it was, but it's not the one you mentioned. That's hour 1, hour 2 coming up. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Woodhouse at Lincoln offers more than just vehicles. Steeped in tradition, Lincoln customers are offered 100 years of car building excellence, insightful technologies, luxury interior amenities, and benefits of the state-of-the-art showrooms and service departments. Convenient pickup and delivery, and an online buying experience that can be done anywhere. The simplicity of purchasing and owning makes shopping the Metro's exclusive Lincoln dealer an easy choice. Explore how Woodhouse Lincoln can change your drive today at woodhouselincoln.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
Save with low price lockdown from Hy-Vee. We've locked down prices on hundreds of your favorite everyday items. Prices are locked down for months and months on major leading name brands. The products that you like, the products that you want, and products that you'll want to stock up on. And all of the prices are locked down until we unlock them and lower them even more. Low price lockdown. Deals you can't beat anywhere. Only at Hy-Vee.
with the GoCurrency.com sports ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Wednesday, Huskers fans. We are exactly 1 month away from Huskers football game day in Ireland. Time is flying this summer. And Huskers news today. Another day, another Husker on the award watch list. New transfer punter Brian Buschini was named to the Ray Guy Award watch list today. That is the annual honor given to the nation's best punter. Buschini was the top FCS punter last year with Montana, averaging 46 yards per punt, with 30 of his 69 punts being downed inside the 20-yard line. Good luck to Nebraska women's gymnast Emma Spence, who is set to compete at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England. Spence, a national of Canada, is part of their senior national team and will compete on Saturday, July 30th at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. And congratulations to Nebraska volleyball's Nicklin Hames for signing on with Adidas as part of an NIL deal. As you heard Greg and Jessica talk about it in Hour 1, Nicklin is one of 15 NCAA women's student athletes to sign with Adidas as a part of their 50th anniversary celebration of Title IX and their inaugural group of NIL student athletes. Over to pro sports this evening. It's a busy, busy night in baseball. Current games going on. The Mets once again jumping out to a lead over the Yankees in the Subway Series back in New York City. They're in Queens right now. 2-0 the Mets lead at the end of 3. 5-2 the Reds are up on the Marlins. That's at the bottom of the 5th. The Rays currently lead the Orioles 3-2. End of the 3rd. Bottom of the 3rd, it's 1-0 Cardinals leading the Blue Jays. Also bottom of the 3rd, it's the Guardians leading the Red Sox 3-2. Lots of finals from a lot of matinee action in the Bigs. 7-2, the Phillies topped the Braves. 4-3, the Tigers took down the Padres 4-0. The Angels blanked the Royals 10-4. The Brewers clobbered the Twins 6-5. The Rockies bested the White Sox 7-1. The Dodgers took down the Nationals 4-2. The A's beat the Astros 5-3. The Diamondbacks beat the Giants, and 4-2. The Mariners bested the Rangers. Also breaking in Major League Baseball this afternoon, Angels superstar outfielder and 3-time MVP Mike Trout is reported to be dealing with a rare back condition in his vertebrae that is reportedly something Trout will have to manage throughout the rest of his career, per Angels head athletic trainer Mike Frostad. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly, Hour 2 on the way on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
In motion is Brewington. They snap it back, fake the handoff, looking to throw. They flip it out the flat to Brewington, makes a catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Well, that looked easy that time. Brewington came in motion, and instead of cutting down the block, kept out the flat, flipped it out to him for an easy 6 points. And Treese now sends a man in motion. They turn, they flip it off to McDuffie, trying to race to the edge. Gets around JoJo Doma, but can't get around Nick Henrich. He'll go down. He'll lose 3 yards, back to the 23-yard line. What a play by Nebraskans. Caught! Touchdown! Omar Manning! What a grab in the end zone, and the Huskers have 6 more points.
What a throw and catch! Yes!
Nice jitterbug move, and it bouncing the outside 40 to the 50-yard line, to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant, with an electrifying move at the line of scrimmage, scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back for hour number 2 of our Wednesday show. So glad you've decided to spend a little bit of time with us here tonight. We've got a great hour coming up. We're going to hear from some new hires in the Husker football recruiting office. 2 young ladies who are part of the Husker football staff now. Can't wait to hear from them here in a little bit. Doug Duda from our affiliate out in the Hastings-Kearney area, and the host of the Doug and Daddy Show, has been covering Big Ten Media Days in Indianapolis. We're going to catch up with him and get his impressions of what he's heard the last couple of days. Looking forward to that. On our text line, which, by the way, is open at all times for you at 402-413-2400. Andy in Phoenix said, hey, ask Coach how the Black Hills trip was. Thanks for the pick at Mount Rushmore. Andy had informed us a week or so ago that Coach Beckton was visiting Mount Rushmore. So, Andy, I'll pass that along. I may see the coach tomorrow again, so I'll pass that along that you thanked him for the picture. So we'll just definitely get that to you. Art in Los Angeles said, Greg, you should have bought a Kenmore. That was not the brand of the now deceased washing machine.
Did you go with the same brand?
Again, I don't have the answer to that question.
Oh.
I didn't buy it, so I don't know. It would be kind of foolish to do that. But that's not saying that that's not what happened. So, not sure. All right, Husker football recruiting. We're not allowed to mention names and stuff because of our affiliation with the university, but it's gone really well. Nebraska's got a really nice start to the recruiting class. There are over 10 commitments for the class that they will sign in December, or most of them will probably sign in the early period in December. And that's another part of the football staff, Jessica, that Scott Frost has remade a little bit from last year to this year. There's some new people in that recruiting office. We talked to Vince Quinta a couple of months ago, who now is heading that office.
Yeah, and a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. So, we've heard that a lot about those coaches that they brought in. I think it's carried over to this recruiting staff, and they're excited about being here. And they talked about that with Coach Frost, had them all in for a staff meeting and said, hey, it's going to take everybody when they were attacking the month of June. So, yeah, Brittany and Taylor McDaniel, who is the new director of recruiting, and then Brittany Oleg-Mueller, who is the director of on-campus recruiting. 2 women in this field. It's a growing field for women, and yeah, got a chance to sit down with them. This is just a portion of our conversation. We have the full interview out now on our podcast platforms, but wanted to give you a listen to at least a part of it here tonight. Let's just start your title and the director of on-campus recruiting, director of recruiting. What goes into the titles and what your duties are? Taylor, you can start.
Okay, so I actually work with our senior director of recruiting and player personnel, Vince Quinta. He's recently new to the staff as well, but we kind of work hand in hand, kind of overseeing what we want the vision for the program to be in terms of recruiting and how it relates to our incoming prospects, kind of overseeing the visits and getting them to campus and that sort of thing, and kind of the content plan of what we want the message to be for each class, 23s, 2024s, and so forth, going on from that route.
Cool.
And I am really just Taylor's right-hand gal. So whatever she needs, I am there to help her, whether that is helping with official visits, unofficial visits, anything along those lines. And then I'm also in charge of the academics and admissions part of the process. So making sure that their eligibility is correct, making sure they're getting enrolled on time, all of that fun stuff. And then also with their move-in process, kind of be their liaison during their transition process from a recruit to an actual Husker football player, which is really exciting. So I'll be there on move-in day and help facilitate that as well.
Did y'all know each other before you came here?
We did not at all.
But you hired her?
Yes, I did.
So how did that process go?
So Brittany actually volunteered and worked as a student here last summer or 2 summers ago.
Last summer.
And so our DFO, Andrew, kind of recommended her and talked very highly of her. And some of the other guys that are here still with the recruiting staff talked very highly of her. So it was kind of a no-brainer. She's from Nebraska. She lives and breathes Husker football. So I just knew it was right.
Yeah, so tell us about your journeys, your stops along the way to get you here, Brittany, because you're from Nebraska.
Yes, so I was born and raised in Nebraska, originally from Elkhorn, Nebraska, and I started working actually at Huddle for 2 years while I was a student here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and I loved Huddle because it really showed me how women can impact the world of sports. And being in that position, I was like, wow, okay, I really like the sports industry. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do yet, if I wanted to work in athletics or not. And then there was an opening to work as a student here in recruiting with Nebraska football, and I just kind of randomly applied and got it, which was fantastic because I honestly fell in love with it and decided, yes, this is what I want to do. So I decided to go to grad school for sports management. So I went down to the University of Florida and worked under Lee Davis and Katie Turner, who are 2 incredible, incredible women in the world of football recruiting. Learned a lot from them, and then I got hired back here with Taylor.
What was your undergrad in?
Actually, it was in finance.
Okay.
Yes, so not really much to do with sports. But yeah, so that's why I'm taking the sports management route now.
Okay, got it. Okay, and what about you, Taylor?
Similar background to Brittany. So I'm originally from Arkansas, like I mentioned earlier. I went to Arkansas State, got involved as a student worker. I did that all 4 years of undergrad, and then shortly after that, I had the opportunity to stay there and move into the director of on-campus recruiting role there, but I got an offer to work at the University of Tennessee as the on-campus recruiting coordinator. So I was there for right at a year, February of 2021 to February of 22. And then from there, I accepted a position as the coordinator of on-campus recruiting at Kansas State University. Brief stint there, and then I got the position here. So I've been here since mid-May, and yeah. My background is in biology, so also not in football or sports related at all. But like Brittany, I am also taking my getting my master's in sports admin.
Wow, that's very cool. So you both talked about kind of, indirectly kind of finding your way to recruiting. So when you got there, what did you fall in love with about the potential of recruiting?
So I, like I said, was a biology major, and I was doing that with hopes of being a pediatric surgeon.
Wow.
And my, what drew me to that is the ability to make a difference in someone's life. And when I got in the position of working in football recruiting, a lot of the gentlemen that we have a privilege of working with don't always come from the best situations. So for me, it was kind of a no-brainer of that I still get to make a difference in those lives. So I think God put me in that position for a reason, and I can still do what I love and what I believe that He put me on this earth to do. So that is why I love football recruiting, just making a difference in their lives.
Oh, that gives me chills. It's so cool.
Yes, I completely agree. I just have a passion with people. I love talking to people, interacting with people, and seeing these recruits and help them find their home away from home and make a difference in their lives is truly why I love football recruiting so much. Just like that process of watching them grow from a recruit, coming to your school, going into the league, it's just so incredible to watch, and knowing that I made a difference in that gentleman's life is absolutely game-changing.
Relationships, right? That's
that is everything.
Right? So you talked about Vince, and we had him in on the show a couple months ago, right before you guys kicked off a busy June. But what drew you to working for him, and what did you believe? Because you said you were at Kansas State briefly. What made you believe in the direction he was taking Nebraska as far as recruiting goes?
So as Vince loves to mention, he has been here before, and Nebraska has always held a special place in his heart. And when I came and interviewed here, hearing him talk about that and his passion and belief to be behind Coach Frost kind of inspired me even more so, because I know that he's a great man. I knew the people that worked under him and what they thought of him, but Vince kind of shed a different light on it for me, and just seeing his passion and him wanting to get Nebraska football back to what it used to be kind of spoke to me in a different way that I didn't think it was going to, honestly. So Vince is a great guy.
And Brittany, for you, when you decide I know this is home and you bleed Husker Red, but it's also about who you work with. So what made you believe in what Taylor was doing?
Yeah, honestly, the exact same thing. The first phone call we ever had together, we instantly kind of clicked. It was like a wonderful conversation. I thought it lasted 10 minutes, when in reality it lasted an hour. Wow. We just kind of kept talking, and everything we both envisioned Nebraska football to be, and everything that Vince wants it to be as well. We were very much aligned on that. So not only having Taylor as a partner, but as a really good friend is just another reason why I love working here.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Vince had talked about, and I've heard this before from other coaches, and as far as having a woman on the recruiting staff, a lot of times moms feel more comfortable asking questions to women about some of the other things that they want to know about where they're sending their babies to college, right?
100%.
So is that what you
100%,
oh, yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I always make a point, to tell the moms, please come to me if you have any questions. I promise I will tell you the absolute truth and be genuine throughout this process, because that's another core value that Nebraska football has, is being genuine and being real. So being able to be that person for moms to go to.
100%. And it's funny how many moms come up to us, I think this is a silly question, so they don't want to ask the guys, because to them it's a silly question, but it's a really valid question that needs to be answered. So being that person that they can come to answer those important questions is huge for them, I think.
So I think probably maybe some people don't realize the process that goes into maybe developing a theme for a certain recruiting class, right? So you have a hashtag or whatever.
We talked about that this morning.
Yes, we did. Finding a new one.
So take us through that, and maybe explain to people why that you guys want to approach that in that way, where each class has its special theme.
So I think it's important to figure out what Coach Frost wants his vision to be. Every year the football program in itself has a theme of what it's working towards or what the goals are going to be, and so I think building that and seeing his vision of what he wants the next class, what are we looking for? Do they need to be gritty? Do they need to be tough? And kind of relaying that into what we on the recruiting creative side, can take his vision to be our recruiting staff and our content staff work hand in hand of kind of laying out that, our content guys, we hire them because that's what they do. They have
the best.
They have the ideas,
The absolute best.
everything. So, me and Brittany went in there for our 23 hashtag. We kind of got thrown into it here, and we went in their office, I don't know, one random Wednesday, and like, hey, we want a hashtag, and the next morning we were all brainstorming how to hashtag that afternoon. So,
and that's actually a funny story to bring up because the very first day I got here, I was like, we need a hashtag. Like, that was one of the first things I said, just because not only is it so important to follow the vision that Coach Frost has, but it's also really important to evolve just with other schools. When recruiting is evolving, you got to stay on track, you got to stay competitive. And so the recruits coming in, they now love hashtags that they can post on Twitter or they can do whatever with. So coming in, that was like really important to me to just create a fun one that our guys can use. And yeah, I think we did a good job. And so hopefully we'll continue that with the 2024 class.
That stuff stresses me out, but it is.
It stresses me out.
Oh, yeah. It gives these athletes, they have a sense of pride, and this is their class, and you see them when they're recruiting each other, that they, they use the
100%.
hashtag, and they talk about it, and they like posting the photos. I mean, it's a big part of what goes into the overall recruiting.
Absolutely. And it's something tangible, too, that they can post or like they can have in their back pocket that they can use however they want.
So if fans are listening in right now, what's the hashtag we need to be using to be recruiting this next class?
It's hashtag Go Big Red, except the R and the E in red is a 23. So the 2 kind of looks like an R, and the 3 is kind of like a backwards E. But if you put it all together, it still says Go Big Red.
Nice. So again, that was just a portion of a much longer conversation that's out on all of our podcast platforms right now. They were awesome to get to talk to, get to know a little bit their journeys, and they go into a lot more that I'm sure fans will be interested in hearing what went into the June success in June and all of the commitments they were able to haul in, what their plans are moving forward. And I thought it was interesting. They told a story about they all came together, and the entire staff, Coach Frost brought them all in there and said, hey, it's going to be all hands on deck. And so they talked about how Aura was out there clocking people, and then they had the digital crew signing people up at the, sign-in table. And they had literally everybody that was on the football staff was playing a part in making the camps and the official visits go well throughout the month of June. So again, all hands on deck. And they dive into all of that on that full podcast right now on our YouTube channel too. So Nebraska Huskers YouTube channel, and then on our podcast platforms too.
Very good. Well, they're exciting to listen to, and whatever that whole staff did was very successful. June was a really good month for this team, and we've talked about it for a couple of weeks now. There's just a vibe. There's some momentum with this program. Now, it has to be continued on by winning on the field, and we'll get to that in 30 days.
Yep, it has to translate, but I've told you this a couple times, and we were just talking about it in the commercial break. This team is fun, and they really do like each other. And you're seeing it in ways that it's not just in front of cameras or, if you walk through the facility and you see them, you could just tell how much they really like each other. And it is a close-knit group. And so that usually helps for a football team to have success, but it has to translate. You have to put it all together on come fall camp and then into the season.
Very good. Time to tell you that Nebraska 811 says go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. All right, when we come back, Doug Duda will join us from Platte River Radio, one of our great affiliates out in the central part of the state. He was in Indy the last 2 days covering Big Ten Media Days. We'll get his impression. What did he hear? Who stood out to him? We'll get all that coming up next.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today's topic, animal agriculture. There's been a lot of talk suggesting that giving up meat is good for the environment. However, livestock emissions only account for less than 4% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Also, by reducing meat in your diet, you're missing out on all sorts of beneficial nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Woodhouse Mazda and Woodhouse Place Mazda are the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers, conveniently located in Bellevue or in Millard off 144th and Giles Road. You can shop, finance, and buy your next Mazda SUV or sedan your way. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will guide you to your next vehicle, and our full service department is there for you when your vehicle needs maintenance. Visit us at WoodhouseMazda.com or WoodhousePlaceMazda.com to learn more.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
You can be in Memorial Stadium for the Oklahoma football game with the new limited availability OU +2 ticket plan. For $270, you have a ticket to the Huskers versus Oklahoma game, 2 tickets to North Dakota, and 2 tickets to Georgia Southern. Also available is a Big Ten plan with a ticket to Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. 4 Big Ten games in Memorial Stadium for only $200. Purchase right now at Huskers.com/tickets. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit FamousDaves.com.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged sales event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged sales event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
When it comes to tailgating, it's all about gathering with friends, cheering on the Huskers, and of course, enjoying the great taste of real beef. This is Anne Marie with the Nebraska Beef Council, reminding you that there is no substitute for the smoky aroma and mouth-watering flavors of real beef on the grill. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for helpful grilling tips and delicious beef recipes that are sure to make your next tailgate party a success. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Brought to you by Nebraska's beef producers and their beef checkoff.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Akins, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akins solutions for every field. Well, the Big Ten Media Days are now in the books. Doug Duda, who is with one of our great affiliates out at Platte River Radio out in the Hastings-Kearney area, the host of the Doug and Daddy Show, was there for all of it and joins us from Indianapolis. Hello, sir. How's your summer been?
Well, it's flew by. Doesn't it always fly by?
It seems like it. And with media days, you know it's over, right?
Yeah, this is the official start of crazy time, isn't it?
It is. Well, let's talk. The Huskers were in and out in a hurry. What'd you gather from them, and did you learn much about Husker football?
Did you learn much? I think they thought there, Greg, was Nebraska didn't have to say what we all know. They got to win. And that was kind of the overriding feeling. Garrett Nelson making the comment, of course, that he's tired of people trashing Coach Frost. And one thing I think we did learn a little bit more of is Coach Frost is able to spend a little bit more time with the team, maybe doing team activities than putting the X's and O's together for the offense. The guys mentioned, hey, we see him in the weight room a little bit more. We see him in the locker room a little bit more. So maybe there's a stronger bond there from the coach, and they seem to have a lot of confidence in Coach Whipple, and Garrett Nelson is going to be the face of the program. I think those are a few of the highlights of maybe what we learned from at least Nebraska. But, yeah, Coach Frost in, out, there wasn't a whole lot of excess as he got ready for practice today.
Doug, for those of us who just watched it on TV, we saw that he did not make an opening statement when he was up at the big podium, and it's been written about by some of the columnists here in town. I know before that, I think he was at the breakout session. Were you able to listen in on some of that? What was he like there?
He answered the questions. He was very after it, very professional. But, yeah, when they said, do you want to make an opening comment, he said, no, let's go ahead and roll. And I know some people thought that was a big deal. We were talking with Dave Revson of Big Ten Network, and we brought that up to him today during our interview on our Doug and Daddy show. And he goes, oh, that's not a big deal, you know. And I think only Nebraska folks thought that was a big deal.
What did you make of the commissioner? Doug, I've been really hard on him. I thought he handled himself pretty well yesterday. What was your impression being there?
No, you're right. He's more polished. And when he came in, it was tough. The first time through, all the things that went on, it was tough. And finally, I think there's a little bit of normalcy back here with football in the Big Ten and across the country. And I think he felt a lot more relaxed. And you know what? He made a great point. Everybody's back as a head football coach, so we should be familiar with all the teams there. He's pretty familiar with all the folks that are in charge. They had a big get-together last night with the athletic directors, and he was very open about expansion. You know, he wasn't trying to put anything behind a closed door. He says, heck yeah, we'll keep our eyes open and ears open for expansion, but we're not going to grab somebody just to grab somebody. And went on and answered some other general questions that weren't directly related to football, but addressing mental health, addressing some of the other issues that student athletes go through, not just in football.
Visiting again with Doug Duda from out in the Hastings-Kearney area. You can hear him and our folks too out there on the Doug and Daddy show every day. What was your audience's reaction a month ago, Doug, when the UCLA-USC announcement came down the pike?
Well, you know, there was a couple of things there. It was very surprising, like I think it was to everybody. Then when it settled in, it was like, those are about as good as you're going to get. And then for Nebraska, let's face it, Greg, there's rivalries out there. Nebraska forever, especially in the Big 8, Big 12 days, think about all those non-conference games that they played on the West Coast against, and even when they joined the Big 12, they've played Oregon, you played USC, you played UCLA, you played California, you played Arizona State, they're going to play Arizona, you played Oregon. Very familiar. Californians for Nebraskans, got to love it. So I think, except for the shock of the travel and then joking about Rutgers and Maryland taking on USC and UCLA, it was pretty well received. They know it's a money thing, and it's going to help the university in the end.
There was a CBS Sports Today had an article that it may not be over, that the Big Ten might be looking to pluck a few more of those Pac-12 schools. What reaction were you hearing on the turf there in Indianapolis? I'm sure a lot of whispering going on about all this, isn't there?
Well, I don't think anybody talked about any new schools. I mean, we probably hammered every school that there is out there, right? But Barry Alvarez, who's now got the new job as special advisor for football ops, said he's open to that, just like Commissioner Warren did yesterday. He said they're open to that, and went on to talk about the expanded football playoff today, which I thought was one of the bigger notes. He's totally in favor of that. So Barry Alvarez and Commissioner Warren both open. And, again, how many do you get? Do you get 2? Do you get 4? Do you wait to see if Notre Dame says yes and then go pluck an 18th team? Or do you make, which I don't think would be the right move, go get 4 Pac-12 teams, which is what they're saying. We're not just going to go get teams to get teams.
Yeah, I hope not. Again, visiting with Doug Duda here on Sports Signing on the Huskers Radio Network. Okay, Doug, a lot of times when I go to Media Day, I leave as I study the teams as those 2 days unfold, and I leave and I go, man, I'm higher on this team than 2 days ago, and I think this team I was over-evaluating 2 days ago. Did that happen to you at all today? Who might surprise and who may disappoint in your eyes?
That is my favorite part. You're right on. I don't make any predictions for the most part, on our radio show before. I always say I'm going to learn something at Media Days. Boy, if Iowa can keep that offense, I think their defense is going to be outstanding. The defensive line is going to be maybe a little bit of a question mark, but their secondary, their linebackers, 3 on the Butkus Award list, preseason player of the year on defense, and Campbell. Maybe Iowa's going to be a little bit better than I thought. And Greg, Ohio State, you don't want to talk about them because they're always there. How good does their defense actually have to be? They're going to have so much offense. We were talking on actually the ride out to the airport earlier today. There might be 1, maybe 2 games where it even matters how good their defense plays, because their offense is going to average 35, 42, and probably blow out a few, put up 70 against somebody. They get to the Final Four, and maybe 1 game in conference where defense is going to matter, and that's only if they give the ball away a few times, which they probably won't because they are so talented. And I love Michigan State. I love Michigan State. Man, they look good. I don't think, it's kind of like we go back to Nebraska. Okay, maybe Nebraska wins 6 or 7 games. Does that mean they were better than last year? No. Michigan State might win 1 less game. Does that mean they're worse than last year? No. It's just that they may have a tougher schedule, may have the ball bounced the wrong way. But I think Michigan State's going to be fine. I do wonder where Penn State and Purdue will be. Everybody thinks Purdue's got that shot. I like Minnesota personally because I like Coach Fleck, so maybe I'm shaded. Maybe the eyes are, all gold for the Gophers. But Purdue and Penn State will be the 2 teams for me that'll be interesting to watch to see what happens. They're picked in the middle of the pack, but could fall a little bit.
And that's an opener for those 2. They'll play in that Thursday night game before Labor Day weekend, a monster game for the Nittany Lions and the Boilermakers. So having said that about Iowa, is that your pick in the West?
Oh, boy. You're tough. You're tough. Phil Steele asked me the same question last week when we had him on the show because we were discussing the wide open. I told him Minnesota, but then I discounted Iowa. So there's the one caveat before we went to Media Days. I discounted Iowa. I want to see Minnesota because I think I was crazy last year. Only dude in the world that picked Michigan and Minnesota. And if they don't get hurt at Minnesota, that was what was going to be. And so I'm still hanging in there with Minnesota, although Wisconsin, they look pretty strong. They didn't have a bad year last year. They lost to Minnesota. Yeah, they started 1-3. Look who they lost to. Wisconsin, going to be good. I think it might come down to that game again, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Nebraska just has to hang in there and hope the game against Iowa means something.
Yeah, no doubt. You think back to last year, if Minnesota doesn't stub their toe against Illinois, they win the West, and you would have had the dream matchup that you predicted of Michigan and Minnesota. All right, what do you think? Huskers just keeping their head down and just getting to work? That's kind of the feeling I got just kind of watching it on TV yesterday. This is just a group that's not going to say much. They're just going to go out and, because they know they don't have much to hang their hat on right now, they just got to go to work.
Exactly. Come out. Don't have the game that we had last year against Illinois in the opener. Go to Dublin, have fun, get a comfortable win, and I think they will. Greg, I didn't get any spark out of Northwestern yesterday. None. I mean, did they have any superstars? Maybe one that is out there for Northwestern. So fans, here's what I've been preaching. Fans, media, leave them alone. Don't come up with this what-if scenario and, boy, if this happens. Just let them practice, let them play. Let's get off to a 3-0 start and play Oklahoma, which we all know it's been tough to get off to any kind of a 3-0 start for years.
That sounds good to me. I would take and sign up for that right now. Doug, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Travel safe getting back to the Cornhusker State.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing you in Lincoln for that home opener, and appreciate you having me on.
There he is, Doug Duda, who does that daily show out on our affiliates out in the Hastings-Kearney area. Join us as he leaves Indianapolis, coming back home after covering Media Day for the last couple of days. He joined us on our Sports Nightly Hotline, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. All right, phone lines back open, 402-413-2400. That also doubles up as our text line. Your thoughts now that the Media Days are in the books. We'll take those next.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
The Nebraska FFA is growing leaders
and building communities.
Together, we are strengthening agriculture.
The Nebraska FFA Foundation believes in our future leaders and the communities they serve. We believe in the future of agriculture.
Join us in the I Believe in the Future of Ag campaign. Learn more at NEFFAFoundation.org. Brought to you by CPI, Cooperative Producers, adding value, sharing success. And the Nebraska Farm Bureau, the trusted voice for Nebraska farm and ranch families.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Pat, I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Go ahead.
Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Pottery.
No.
Let us help. Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Lottery. Through August 2nd, enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska Lottery Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket for a chance to be one of 6 winners of a trip to LA, a cruise, or a trip to Vegas.
Are you sure it's not Nebraska Pottery?
Pretty sure. Scratch ticket top prize odds $128,000.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires our product development. From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Akins, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akins solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question. I talked about my washing machine ails in hour one. I'm getting lots of help. Jessica on the text line. Andy in Phoenix says, well, it can't be in an Amana. We bought ours 14 years ago from Nebraska Furniture Mart. Still working great. Also the cheapest we could afford then. And let's see. Mark says, appliance repair shops. A guy told me years ago, don't buy the fancy stuff. It costs more. You probably don't need it, and it's just more things that go wrong. I followed his lead, and over 10 years later, my washer and dryer are running just fine. So,
there you go. I'm really thankful that those guys stepped in to help you out, because I am not that person to help you out and give you any kind of advice on appliances, especially when it comes to house cleaning or housekeeping.
I need every little bit of help I can get, so thank you.
So, yeah, I'm glad they're stepping up to the plate. Cause
Art, Mark, and Andy.
I couldn't have told you either any of those brands.
That's what we're here for,
Maybe
folks.
Kenmore. Maybe I've heard of Kenmore, but...
We're here to, yeah, that's what we're here for, is to pass along great knowledge.
Yes. Maybe as we accumulate list of what players we're looking for fall camp, we can accumulate lists of best appliances too.
We are going to do that tomorrow night, though. You and I are going to come up with a list of players we think are going to have a really good couple of weeks here as we approach the season. I can't wait to put mine together.
Yeah, I'm excited.
This will be fun.
Yep.
And you're going to head over to the Hendricks Center tomorrow.
Yes. Well, basketball.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say where the volleyball shoot is yet.
No, you shouldn't say where it is, but you're going to go attend it.
Yes, I'm going to, but it's not. I will say it is not at Devaney.
Okay, so they're off-site.
Yes, to shoot the
secret
intro
location.
Video. Yep, so I'll be there with volleyball, and Andrew's going to go with me. I mean, he got back from vacation. We're putting him right to work. I mean, he's got to be up early. You know, he's not a morning person, but we're going to make him get up early. But at least if we're going to get him up early, at least it's with basketball. That's about the only sport that he'll get excited about waking up early for.
And we're going to try to talk to C.J. Wilcher.
Yes, C.J. Wilcher, and I saw Wilhelm Breinbach might be available too. We'll see. But yeah, get some, because we haven't talked to a hoops player in a while. So
a couple weeks.
We're getting Derek Walker on about every other week there for a while.
Yeah, well, he put the little camp on for the Special Olympians.
Yes, yeah. So
terrific deal.
But CJ is a guy that Coach Hoiberg mentioned and the work that he's put in, and he We both have talked about that should be a bright spot, him coming back. He shot it well last year, so anxious to get to talk to him. And then, we'll get some volleyball perspective, too, as they're about ready to start their preseason workouts.
Isn't that crazy? Soccer, I saw soccer walking around the stadium today in uniform, so they were having their photo day. They have an exhibition match against UNO, I believe it's August 7th. So that's going to be next Sunday.
We're going to have to all go as a Huskers Radio Network family.
We can be hooligans.
And get, Sammy jerseys and Sammy signs and all of that.
Let's do it.
Molly can lead the charge since she's the Scarlet and get us all lined out on how we need to, cheer and all of that. But we need to all go support Sammy once they get going, because she was not on the team, the Huskers Radio Network team, a year ago. But that's how she got it all started, was she came in here. She started off
You
great.
brought her in for an interview.
Yes, and had a great start to the season, was the goalkeeper, the Big Ten goalkeeper of the week. And then she sat down to do the interview and was like, I want to do this one day. And then she kept after me. And about January, when she came back for semester break, joined the team. So, now we've got a team member that's on the soccer team.
Great.
So it'll be fun to follow. Even more fun to follow, I guess.
We did a broadcast from out there last year before a match.
We did.
I can't remember who they played.
It was like an exhibition game, wasn't it?
Yeah. South Dakota State, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's right. Or North Dakota.
One of the Dakotas was down here for a game, and we did the show while the match was going on. I don't think there was any score when we left the air, but, man, I'm really testing my memory on that. So, soccer's about to start. They'll get going first, and then volleyball about a week away from starting their camp. Husker football, practice 1 in the books, practice 2 tomorrow, practice 3 on Friday. We'll have a full practice report on Friday's show, including comments from Eric Chenander, who I haven't talked to Eric Chenander in months, the Husker defensive coordinator.
Yeah, we hadn't been in studio.
Nope.
So
he doesn't coach a position, so when we did the breakdowns, we didn't bring him in.
Who was he sitting with last night? He was with his, who was he sitting next to last night in the fan day? He was next to one of maybe the linebackers.
Bear Rude, maybe?
No, I think, Chenander was on the one end with the linebackers,
gotcha.
I think.
Very good.
So.
All right. So we got a lot of stuff heading your way in the next couple of days. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Still time if you want to be a part of this little chit-chat session. 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap up the show next.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged sales event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged sales event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
Pat, I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Go ahead.
Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Pottery.
No.
Let us help. Wheel of Fortune second chance promotion from the Nebraska Lottery. Through August 2nd, enter any non-winning $5 Nebraska Lottery Wheel of Fortune scratch ticket for a chance to be one of 6 winners of a trip to LA, a cruise, or a trip to Vegas.
Are you sure it's not Nebraska Pottery?
Pretty sure.
Scratch ticket top prize odds 128,000.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We are your shelter.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
We're back, Sports Nightly. Final few minutes of our Wednesday show, 402-413-2400. Time to tell you that Husker football is offering a couple of mini ticket plans. One of them is called OU Plus 2 mini plan. You get one ticket to the Oklahoma game, 2 to the North Dakota game, 2 to the Georgia Southern game. That total package, $270. And they're offering a conference-only package. Games with Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, $200 for that plan. If that interests you at all, go visit huskers.com/tickets. Husker football did have a practice today, number 1 in the books. No pads, got to keep those in the closet for a couple of days before you can bring those out. That's an NCAA rule. You have to do so many practice sessions before you're allowed to pad up and really get physical with the practices. And a lot of guys, a lot of old-time football guys, those old-hearted guys like Jeremiah Searle say, it's not real football until you put the pads on.
Yes, he doesn't like pajama. What?
No,
that's what he calls it, right?
Pajama practice.
Yes. Yeah. No, he's not a fan of that.
So, but we'll have a full coverage of a big practice report for you on Friday night show. And media days in Indianapolis wrapped up today. Doug Duda was on with us earlier this hour. He agreed with us. He thought the commissioner acquitted himself very nicely with his comments yesterday, and said there was a lot of positive comments on the hall floor there in Indianapolis. And people going, "Wow, that was pretty good performance by the commish."
So when I asked you in the first hour who won media days, so did the commissioner
Kevin
win?
Warren.
Yeah,
Kevin Warren. I think he did, and he should. He has a lot to coo about. That's a big get.
Yeah.
USC,
so
UCLA.
now over under. When do you think we'll know about the media rights still?
By Labor Day.
Yeah.
I think it happens before we go to Ireland.
Okay.
So we leave on the 22nd. Does that sound right?
Yes, Monday the 22nd.
Okay. I think we know before that.
Wow.
So pretty quick.
Labor Day is before the 22nd?
No. Labor Day is the week we get back.
Oh, okay.
But I think it happens before we get. I'm backing it up a week. I think it happens before we get to Labor Day or before Ireland.
I can't wait to see. To me, we know the number's going to be big. What's going to be fascinating to me is to see what entities are all a part
Correct.
of that number, which networks got involved, which streaming services got involved, all the above. Like, that's what I want to see how the package all came together and who might have been left out.
I think they're going to get CBS.
Yeah.
I think they're going to take over that 2:30 slot from the SEC.
Yeah, well, CBS, that's been a big time slot for them.
Why would CBS want to get away from college football? Go grab that.
And especially one that's going to stay up with where you were.
Yep.
It's not going to fall down.
Particularly now you add those two schools, you got a lot of name brands in Big Ten football. Should be interesting. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance. Buy online at woodhouse.com. All right, tomorrow night we will recap Husker football. We're going to put out our list of who we think are going to have good camps. We're going to hear, hopefully, from C.J. Wilcher and maybe some Husker volleyball chatter tomorrow night. Great to have Andrew back. First day back since Memorial Day.
Woo!
Tim was here tonight as well. Have yourself a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sapp Brothers. For 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska. providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Get your Ford your way at Woodhouse Ford. Completely customize your next vehicle and ensure that you are getting exactly what you're looking for. From cargo space to tires and even safety features, you can easily design a vehicle that meets all your needs. Plus, we make the process stress-free with 3 convenient locations and the ability to view all our inventory in one place at WoodhouseFord.com. You shouldn't have to settle, so start building your next vehicle at Woodhouse Ford today.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Turn. They hand it off to Ramir off the left side. He's got a seam. 30. Ramir bounces to the outside. 25, 20, 15, 10. Down to the 7-yard line. It's first and goal. Big Red at the Gopher 7-yard line.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down the first Huskers practice report of fall camp. We'll also name our Sports World winners and losers of the week. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com.